Real people, steel people. Professionals demand dependability on the job. Homeowners expect long-lasting value. And servicing steel dealers provide friendly, knowledgeable support. Right now, steel blowers start at just $139.95 and get the powerful MS-250 chainsaw for just $299.95. Get yours now, only at your local steel dealer. Visit steeldealers.com or search STIHL.
Cullen Supply and Engine Service, your steel dealer at 826 South Harris Street in Sandersville and 910 East Jackson in Dublin.
Welcome to Dublin Today. I'm Stacy Brooks here in the studio. Of course, we're welcoming back Miss Marie Townsend from TLC CASA. It's always great to have you here. Love hearing about the things going on over at CASA. And then, of course, we've got Drew Purnell. We're going to hear a lot about Drew in just a few moments. We are super excited to have him here with us. And Miss Marie, first of all, I'd just like to give you an opportunity maybe just to remind our viewers exactly what TLC CASA is. We may have new viewers who aren't as familiar, but we really want to know exactly what you guys do.
Stacy, thanks for having us on again. We always love coming to sit with you and be on TV with you. CASA stands for Court Appointed Special Advocate. We advocate for abused and neglected children that are in foster care. We are appointed by the juvenile court judge to basically be their eyes, ears, and voice. We advocate what is in the best interest of a child. Our focus is a volunteer-driven base that we train volunteers to be the advocate, and we just hope that every child will have a permanent and safe home and can get that love and stability that they so much deserve, which as a foster parent, you know how important that is.
And of course, foster families are always near and dear to my heart. Yes. And so I try to convey always to our viewers just how important it is to really get behind our community in supporting our foster families. A lot of people maybe don't realize how many foster children that we really have just here in Dublin-Lawrence County. Can you give us an idea?
There's about 130 to 140 children just right here in Dublin-Lawrence County that are in foster care, and they all need a home. They all especially need a voice, and that is what, you know, we are hoping that every child has a voice.
And so TLC CASA is a little different than some other organizations. You strictly advocate for the child.
Right. Where DFACS works with the whole family, we advocate for the child and the child only. You know, we report to the court what we feel is in that best interest, whether it be to send the child home, or there might be some other things that we feel that the parents need to do before they get their children back, or if there's things that we see that the child may need, such as tutoring, counseling, clothes, anything that my CASA volunteers are trained and they know, you know, what these children need, and they take each case personally and as their own children.
And you also have there a visitation center, which plays a major role in the lives of these children. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
We have our Playhouse Visitation Center that is located next to our main office, and the juvenile court judge actually sets visitation. He is the one that says how long, the duration, and how often a child can visit, and does it need to be supervised or unsupervised. And if it's supervised, pretty much 99% of the time, he's ordering it to be at our visitation center. And our staff there is trained and to be able to supervise the parents, redirect the parents if they see they're doing something wrong, or talking to the children about things that they should not be talking about. Because, you know, sometimes parents forget these are children. They don't need to hear adult things. And it's really important to a child to know that their mom and daddy love them, and mom and daddy are doing what they need to do to get their children back, but they don't need to hear all the details. So we have that visitation center, and they also report to the court any findings that they see that are good or negative with this family.
So in talking about the foster system here in Dublin-Lawrence County, as we've heard, there are a lot of children. You know, that's a large number for us. I feel like it's a large number, especially being here in Dublin-Lawrence County. And these children, you know, many are just put in situations, they're moved to homes of people they don't know. So it's great that they have a place they actually can come and feel safe to visit, of course, because, you know, in a perfect society, we wouldn't need an organization like CASA, but we know how important it is. So the visitation centers where they can come and feel safe, especially because some of these children are coming out of abused homes and different things. So I want our community to really realize and understand just how important that you guys are. And it's hard to really grasp the concept, and I guess maybe I became more aware just because I became more involved. So that's what I really want to encourage our community to do. If they're interested in volunteering with TLC CASA, do you need volunteers?
Oh, yes, ma'am. We cannot do what we do without volunteers. Our organization is a volunteer-driven base, and without our volunteers, we have a saying, you have maybe 5 or 6 different foster homes, 6 or 7 different DFACS caseworkers, you have one CASA. So the duration of a case, we want one CASA. And that one case doesn't open today and close tomorrow. They could be here for a year or 2 years in foster care until they receive that permanency. But yes, ma'am, they can contact me at 478-275-8100, extension 2, and I will talk to them about how they can become a CASA volunteer.
That's awesome. And as working with you guys personally, I can honestly say how much, you know, our community really appreciates what you do. Nobody really likes to hear the bad stuff. Yeah. We don't like to hear about all the things that are going on in homes, but it is good to remind our viewers that the goal when a child is removed from a home is always to get that child back into that home once it's safe and stable and those parents can provide what they need. Because I think sometimes people have a misconception of what foster care. They don't want to take children and move them permanently with someone else. They want to get these families where they need to be, and so that you play a great role in that because you're able to report exactly how the children interact and that kind of thing. So again, thank you guys for all that you do, but it takes funds.
Yes, it does. It takes funds because we are a nonprofit. We are a United Way agency, and we are a nonprofit, and without great community support and great people like Drew and coming in to do a concert for us, it's hard for us to be able to train our volunteers or either to get things for these children that may be needed that we could see that we could do extra. So we're real excited. Come on January the 19th, we've got Shades of Buble coming into Dublin, and he is a 3-man show. And I'm going to let Drew tell you more about what all they do, but we're super excited. Drew is actually from Soperton, Georgia, and we're just thrilled that he's going to be here. And tickets are on sale now, and we're super excited.
Well, we are looking forward to hearing from Drew. I have had the pleasure of speaking with you a few minutes already. Can't wait to hear all about your show. Can't wait just to see exactly what it is you do. We'll be right back after this brief commercial break.
I feel and we're feeling good.
They were awesome. We loved it.
It's a new dawn. It's a new day. It's a new life. It's a new life for me. Oh.
Dublin's newest and most modern hotel is the Hampton Inn & Suites. Relax and enjoy your stay while near the best in dining, golf courses, and business centers. Start your day with a free hot breakfast. Enjoy our pool, indoor fitness center, and Wi-Fi. Plan your next family reunion, meeting, training session, or social gathering at Hampton Inn & Suites, 103 Travel Center, located by Longhorn and Cracker Barrel. Hampton Inn & Suites by Hilton.
Welcome back. Thanks again for joining us for Dublin Today. Stacey Brooks here in the studio. Of course, we welcome back Miss Marie Townsend from TLC CASA, and we've got Drew Purnell. And Drew, I just really want you just to tell our viewers all about yourself. Where'd you come from? What are you doing? I've heard some really great things. So you just tell our viewers a little bit about yourself.
All right. Well, I am from Soperton, Georgia, which is just right down the road, as we say here, down in the South. And I grew up playing the piano. I actually studied here in Dublin with a couple different teachers, Miss Patricia Nuss and Suzanne Dukes before that. And so very familiar with the area, and started studying taking singing lessons, studying voice when I was in high school, and I did that in Vidalia, Georgia. So I've made a lot of friends in the surrounding communities here, and I went to college at Samford University in Birmingham, Alabama, studied vocal performance and theater there, and then moved to the big city, New York City, the Big Apple, in 2006, and I went to a 2-year musical theater conservatory there, and have been out performing in musical theater all across the nation. I've done a couple of national tours of musicals and done some stuff in New York as well, and now I'm doing this singing group, Shades of Buble.
So, did you ever think when you were in Dublin, and I know Miss Dukes, and I bet she's going to be at the show because she's going to be excited.
Nice.
She's going to be excited. Know her family very well. So, is this something you always wanted to do? When you were taking those piano lessons here in Dublin, did you see yourself doing this as a career?
It was a slow process. My family, my parents who are still in Soperton, and my sister, we would all go to the Fox Theater in Atlanta and see the musicals that would be on tour. And we took a couple of trips to New York when I was 14 or 15. And as I saw the shows and experienced that, I knew I loved it, and I knew I could sing and had the desire to perform and those talents. But I didn't really think of it as a career option at first. I didn't know that was necessarily a possibility. And then as I was in a voice lesson one day with my teacher, Rebecca Smeltzer, and excuse me, she asked me, "Are you going to go to New York and be a starving artist?" And that kind of put the idea in my head that, hey, this is something I could do. And didn't know the best way to make all of that happen, but had so much help and support from my parents and the community, everybody around me, and we've done it over the years, and it's the
Pretty
dream
exciting.
is a reality now, which is really fun. Yeah,
Really fun. I know, because I heard you talking about some of the things you have coming up just in the next few days. I'm going to let you share that in just a bit. But, it's so refreshing to meet local talent, people, who have come and are really fulfilling those dreams. And it reminds me especially how important the arts really are here in Dublin-Lawrence County, where a lot of counties are cutting funding even in public schools for the arts. And so I think it's great for our community to see these things really matter. So the things that impressioned you even as a young student in our area, of course, began to shape you and mold you. So I think that's pretty exciting, to have you come back. So we definitely want to encourage everybody, again, to come out because it is a fundraiser for TLC CASA. Now, tell us a little bit about your actual performance.
Okay. So the group is called Shades of Buble. We're a 3-man tribute to Michael Buble. Now, we don't imitate him at all. We're not impersonators. We just sing his great music because, he's written a lot of songs over the years you might have heard on the radio, like Home and Just Haven't Met You Yet. But he also has kind of got his foot in the door by covering those great standards by Frank Sinatra and some of the old classic big band singers. So he's done a lot over the years. He's recorded Motown and rock and roll songs. There's the Beatles, Elvis, all groups you've heard of. So it's a great show, I think. There's a little bit of everything for everyone. And what we've done is taken all of those songs that he's written or recorded or performed and combined it with that 3-part harmony sound from the guy groups of the 50s and 60s to kind of create this whole new experience for the audience.
So it sounds like it's definitely for, if you like pretty much in any genre of music.
We've got a little bit of everything in there,
So,
which is great.
So tell us a little bit about, it is a 3-man show, so can you tell us a little bit about the other two?
Yeah, so we all met in New York actually doing this show. We have 2 producers there that thought of everything. It's kind of a big operation now. So they held auditions in the winter of 2015. We're coming up on our 3-year anniversary of the group, and the business in New York, it's kind of like a lot of other things where it's about meeting the right people and knowing and being in the right places at the right time. And so I was performing with another concert group, and one of my friends said his friend was looking for singers for this thing, and I thought it all sounded great. So I think we all have similar stories in that we just heard about it through the grapevine, and then they asked me to audition, and I did, and they called me the next day, and I got it. And I think the other guys have similar experiences as well. But, you know, when you're out on the road traveling together, you get to know each other very quickly. So when people come see the show, they think, oh, these guys they met in high school or college and formed this group, but we actually met doing this and have just become great friends through that.
So that's awesome, because when you travel together, of course, there has to be you've got to be able to get along, your personalities. You have to kind of mesh together, kind of like fostering. You got to be able to blend and mesh together.
Exactly.
So I am super excited to meet them as well. We're going to hear a little bit more about your group and what you're doing. We'll be back after this brief commercial break.
Every song you're going to hear tonight has either been recorded or performed live by Michael Buble. Of course, we have his classic big band Frank Sinatra covers.
Some of his original songs that have recently topped the charts.
And we're also going to do some of his Motown and rock and roll hits, like this one.
There's gonna be a heartache tonight, a heartache tonight, I know. There's gonna be a heartache tonight, a heartache tonight, I know. Oh, let's go, babe.
A lot of energy.
Yes, I loved it. And so did my husband. Imagine that. I mean, they were great.
Weather-wise, it's such a lovely day. You just say those words and we'll meet those birds down to Acapulco Bay. And it's so perfect for a flying honeymoon, they say. Come fly with me, we'll fly, let's fly. Come on, my baby, just pack up. Let's fly away.
Meadows Health is much more than a hospital. We're heart attack stoppers and fitness jump starters. We're cancer fighters and patient huggers. We're a surgery center and an up all night center. We're a devoted group of primary care and specialty physicians, all in one advanced, comprehensive, and close to home health system. Far more than a medical center, we're Meadows Health, and we're here for you in Vidalia.
Welcome back. Thanks again for joining us for Dublin Today. Again, here in the studio with Miss Marie Townsend from TLC CASA. And of course, we're here talking with Drew Purnell, and he is with Shades of Buble. And we have really had a really entertaining time, a joyous time getting to know you this morning.
Thank you.
So tell our folks a little bit more about your show. And of course, you said you're not impersonators.
Right.
You sing that song, sing his song, excuse me. So it kind of covers the decade, so to speak.
Yes, yes.
Show for everyone. Now, what do you guys have coming up? You're going to be back in Dublin on January 19th. You're here visiting family from New York.
Yes.
So we were super excited that we were able to steal you away for just a little bit. The big city of New York is a lot different than Dublin.
Very different, very different.
Very different. So tell us a little bit about what it is you have coming up this year or in the next few weeks even that you're going to be doing.
Well, so we have an exciting opportunity coming up just in a few days, actually. We're kicking off the world cruise for a ship in the Oceania Cruise Line, the Insignia. So we're going to be on for the first 12 days or so of their cruise, and we'll do our show for those group of guests. We're doing a big national performing arts conference in New York right after that, January 14th, I believe, and then coming down here. But we have other stuff going on. We're doing a mini Midwest tour during February. We just wrapped up a tour in Pennsylvania, and so we're all over the place.
Wow.
We get to see a lot of exciting and fun places from towns the size of Dublin all the way up to New York City.
So what do you think is your favorite part about traveling to so many different places?
I've always enjoyed traveling itself, you know, seeing new places. So if we go to a new town, I'm always the first one out the door in the morning just to see something new, and that's fun. And then just meeting people from all different walks of life areas of the country and the world. Really, has just been such a fun experience.
And when you're leaving, you're going, you said, to Miami,
Yes,
right?
flying to
So
Miami.
you will have visited Dublin, Lawrence County, Treatland County, and Soperton. You just left Pennsylvania. You're heading to Miami.
Right.
That's quite a big. That's quite a big change. A big change.
Oh,
It
he was
is
in
a big
St.
change.
Augustine, what, yesterday?
Oh yeah, down
Oh,
in
wow.
Florida a couple days ago. Going back to New York first though, because we have to have our rehearsal before we head down to Miami. So we'll get out of the cold just in time for
Time for the hard cold then.
the bad part. Yeah.
So, what's your favorite thing about living in New? Is that where you call home
Yeah,
now?
we're all three of us are based in New York City, and you know that's where we have. Well, we don't have to be there, but that's where everything's happening, and we also do a lot of theater work. So that's where Broadway is, and so I have to be there for business. But it's really fun to be in the center of such a hub for the entertainment industry like that. And, you know, I go see shows myself. I have friends in a lot of the Broadway shows, and just seeing everybody achieve their dreams over the years has been really fun.
So what do you think, or what would you say has been so far the highlight of your career so far?
Oh, wow.
No pressure.
Yeah, well, no, I'll tell you. I've gotten to do it twice now, actually, but I was in two different touring productions that both played the Fox Theater in Atlanta. So stepping out on that stage and seeing the place where I first saw a professional show when I was 13 years old, that was just, I don't think it could get better than that. It was just such a full circle, amazing moment for me.
For you, that's awesome. So as we said before, just how important the arts are in shaping and developing young minds. Even we can relate that back to our foster children. Music plays a big role in a lot of those kids' lives. I can say that personally. When you deal with children on a daily basis who have been through so much trauma, music really helps those, at least from my perspective, from what I've witnessed. It really does make a difference, something they can kind of relate to. It puts them at ease. Music really sets the tone for the mood. You think about even on the big screen, right. Music plays such a large role in that. Now, is there something that you really want, is there something you want to work towards, or maybe a highlight that you're really, when you get there that day, you're going to be like, oh my goodness, I cannot believe I'm here? Anything in particular?
I still haven't booked an actual Broadway show yet. I've come close a couple of times, but when that happens, that's the main goal I've spent the past 20 years working towards. So after that, everything could change. I don't know. I might be over New York and come back down here or something, but that's the big goal, and when that happens,
that's going to be the highlight.
Yeah, very excited. But, I'm just thankful that I've been able to work consistently over the years doing what I love, because not everybody gets to do that.
I heard it said one time, choose a career that you love and you'll never work a day in your life.
Yes.
And you kind of seem to radiate that to me, because
you
you're able to do something that you really enjoy,
right.
And you've made a career out of it. You've become very successful. We're very fortunate to have you. I know that Miss Marie and the board, they are so grateful to you for coming.
We are as well. It means a lot to me to get to do this
at home.
To come home to do it. Yes.
Yeah. Super excited. I definitely hope this isn't the last time that we get to see you.
I hope
here in Dublin, Lawrence County. And, we're going to follow you. And when you hit Broadway, we want you to remember us people here when you hit Broadway. Come back and let me do another interview, show some clips of that. But I'm super excited. I can't wait to see the performance myself. I'll be there. And Miss Marie, tell us one more time, give us those dates and times, and maybe, again, volunteers and sponsors are so important. Are there some places that you were able to get those tickets from?
Yes, it's Friday, January the 19th at Theater Dublin. The show starts at 7. You can get tickets at our office at 1347 North Jefferson Street, the Exchange here in Dublin or in Vidalia, Dinner Drugs in Soperton, and Plum Alley here in Dublin, Georgia.
And if, of course, our viewers have any questions about the show or how they can help with TLC CASA, if you need ticket information, always remember they feel free to call my voicemail. I'm happy to get you in contact with Miss Marie. That's 478-277-5993. A lot of our viewers know that number. And if you will call me, I'll be happy to get them in contact with you. It has definitely been my pleasure being able to sit down and talk with you today. I can't wait to meet the rest of your group. It's going to be a great event. I know that you guys are already selling tickets. I understand that Soperton is trying to pack the house.
Yes. Yes. Soperton is trying to pack the house, which that's what we want. We want a sold out standing room only crowd.
So now, Miss Marie, these funds, tell us just real briefly what the funds that you're raising, what are some of the things that you guys need that funding for?
Well, the funding will help us not only be able to train more volunteers, but help keep our volunteers trained and up to breast of what they need to be able to advocate for children. But the funds will help children that we advocate for in some of their needs that they may have.
That's awesome. Again, 120, sometimes as many as 150 children in foster care here in Dublin, Lawrence County. So once again, we are asking you, our viewers, and our community is awesome when it comes to something in need, a time of need. They always rally around. So I know that it's going to be a great turnout. I can't wait. And it has definitely been a great day in Dublin today.
Down on my knees, oh God, please let me hold.